focus, Mitch.
I want to turn to the FBI. How many FBI agents or confidential informants actively participated in the events of January 6th?
Oh, my God.
Sir, I'm sure you can appreciate that I can't go into the specifics of sources and methods.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants actively participate in the events of January 6th? Yes or no?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants commit crimes of violence on January 6th?
I can't answer that, sir.
Did any FBI agents or FBI informants actively encourage and incite crimes of violence on January 6th?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Ms. Sadburn, who is Ray Epps?
I'm aware of the individual, sir. I don't have the specific background to him.
Well, there are a lot of people who are understandably very concerned about Mr. Epps. On the night of January 5th, 2021, Epps wandered around the crowd that had gathered, and there's video out there of him chanting, "Tomorrow, we need to get into the Capitol, into the Capitol." This was strange behavior, so strange that the crowd began chanting, "Fed, Fed, 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 Fed." Ms. Sandburn, was Ray Epps a Fed?
Sir, I cannot answer that question.
The next day, on January 6th, Mr. Epps is seen whispering to a person, and 5 seconds later, 5 seconds after he's whispering to a person, that same person begins to forcibly tear down the barricades.
Ooh, he's powerful.
Did Mr. Epps urge them to tear down the barricades?
Sir, similar to the other answers, I cannot answer that.
Okay, who is Ray Epps? Okay, Ray Epps. Let's read the committee statement about Ray Epps. Quote, "The Select Committee has interviewed Mr. Epps. Mr. Epps informed us that he was not employed by, working with, or acting at the direction of any law enforcement agency on January 5th or 6th or at any other time, and that he has never been an informant for the FBI or any other law enforcement agency." In fact, Ted, Ray Epps is an Oath Keeper, part of the Oath Keeper militia. That's who Ray Epps is. And if you want to point to Ray Epps as being part of the insurrection, fine with me. But what is the insinuation that Ray Epps is somehow an undercover FBI agent or an FBI informant of any type? He's an Oath Keeper, like so many of the insurrectionists were. He owns a place called the Naughty Barn, an event space in Queen Creek, Arizona. That's who Ray Epps is. But Tucker Carlson wanted Ted Cruz to find a way back into his good graces after Tucker Carlson was able to humiliate that smarmy piece of dung known as Ted Cruz on his TV show, and probably told Ted, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go, you have a hearing with this Jill Sanborn lady from the FBI, and you're going to insinuate over and over and over again that Ray Epps, an Oath Keeper from Queen Creek, Arizona, is really an FBI informant, because that is the bullcrap that I produced in a fake recounting of what really happened on January 6th. And if you do that, maybe I'll let you back on my show. That is what happened. And then he went on Sean Hannity to smear Jill Sanborn.
So I asked the FBI, is Mr. Epps an agent of the FBI? Is he an informant of the FBI? And she stonewalled, refused to answer. We know the FBI put him out on the list of people they wanted information about, and then magically he disappeared. There needs to be transparency, and the Biden administration needs to fess up. Is this a politicized law enforcement operation that is targeting the enemies of the president?
Oh my God.
And did they actively encourage and solicit illegal conduct?
Okay, the answer to that question is no. We know that. The guy that Ray Epps whispered to, his name is Ryan Samsel. That was just moments before Ryan Samsel pushed through the barricade, which was one of the first acts of violence that day. Mr. Samsel has been charged with assaulting police officers, and the reason why Epps has not been prosecuted for anything is because Epps never even entered the Capitol. He did not break the law that day, and that is why he's not wanted by the FBI. But Mr. Samsel, who is the person Epps is whispering to, and whatever he said must have really convinced him, this oath keeper whispering to this Samsel dude, go ahead, do violence, we got your back, or whatever he told him. This guy Samsel did it, and this guy Samsel is literally under indictment for assaulting police officers. He's charged with storming the barricade. He's, his lawyers are like, oh, well, maybe we can blame Ray Epps. Fox News says we can. It ain't going to work. He's an Oath Keeper militia member. That's who that old man is. Now, this particular conspiracy theory has been spread by Tucker Carlson, Matt Gaetz, who, by the way, today we learned there is a grand jury investigating Matt Gaetz for underage sex trafficking. Some very smart reporter was right outside and saw Matt Gaetz's old girlfriend go in to testify to that grand jury today. But anyway, it's Matt Gaetz of Florida and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Ted Cruz and Tom Massey of Kentucky. They're all pushing this Tucker Carlson conspiracy. And hey, don't leave out Arkansas, Senator Tom Cotton.
Ray Epps. During the January 6th riots last year, Mr. Epps was caught on video several times. He seemed to encourage people to enter the Capitol, to break down police barriers. Video from the rallies, or from the rally down the National Mall early that day shows him doing the same thing. Video even from the night before shows him encouraging people to enter the Capitol. Ray Epps lives in Arizona. He didn't exactly go underground after January 6th. He even gave an interview to local media, and he was well known to the Department of Justice. He was on the FBI's Capitol Riot Most Wanted page just days after January 6th. In fact, he was one of the first 16 suspects added to that Most Wanted page on your website. It does not appear that he's been arrested or charged in any offense. In July, without explanation, he was removed from the FBI's Most Wanted page.
Jesus. He was removed because there was no crime that the FBI could charge him with. He did not engage in any act of violence, nor did he enter the Capitol. So once they found him in Arizona, they interviewed him. The January 6th Select Committee interviewed him, and under oath, he said, no, I'm not. I'm an oath keeper. I'm a part of a militia is what I am. I'm not an informant. I never worked for that. I never this. I never that. And they realized he never, did anything criminal. So that's the end of investigating Ray Epps. Oh, these people. This is Mitch McConnell's unbecoming caucus. The nerve of you, Mitch. Get them in line.